There are a few examples of people getting older and realizing that they shouldn't have transitioned. That happens. It's real. That's real.
Yeah, more than a few.
But there are also really important surgeries that people get for their heart, and they go wrong, and somebody dies. And nobody says we must stop the cardiologists.
There was progress, or else the answer is, well, maybe I shouldn't have this job anymore. And whoever does that.
So let's talk about. I got to my card that says trans. Let's talk about it. The position, look, other countries have national health services. The Democratic position is leave it up to parents, doctors. Just leave. It's not the government's decision. That's the Democratic position. What's wrong with that position?
Wait, say that again?
The Democratic position, right? Joe Biden.
The Democratic position in this state has been that the school has the right to hide it from the parents. That is something that is not going to go well with the average voter. And again, I'm not even a parent, and I get it. Mm-hmm. Okay? I think the governor here used the word snitch. Now, if I'm wrong, I didn't say it. So I think I read that.
So there are delicate problems here. But wait, there's delicate problems here, and there's a delicate problem where you have a kid, all right, who is either non-binary or trans, who feels scared at home, feels unsafe at home. Those things do happen in the world. There are things that happen in the world. But for the most part, that's not what we're talking about. For the most part, what we're talking about is a teenager who has felt that they have a gender dysmorphia. So what they feel like is that they feel deeply unhappy, depression, all really rampant.
Yes,
and they go to their parents.
They feel that, and then they blame it on the thing that has been put in their mind way too much, that it may be because of you're in the wrong body, to put it probably wrongly, but
sure,
that we understand what that means. Okay. Now, it could be that case. When Trump said there's only two sexes, again, pendulum swinging way too far to stupidity. Okay. Obviously, sex is more complicated than just two sexes. Mm-hmm. There are people.
It's really not. I mean, this notion that it's that complicated. This is something that's been known since the dawn of humanity that apparently has gotten really complicated 5 minutes ago, historically. And please don't bring up the whole hermaphrodite argument. That's such a stupid argument. Not because people like that don't exist, but because it's such a small amount of people. It's even disingenuous when people bring up hermaphrodites or things like that, because that's not even the main group of people that we're talking about when we start talking about trans. We're talking about people with clearly defined sexual organs and sexes who are trying to be the opposite.
People who absolutely, are quote unquote in the wrong body. But when you're a kid, when even a teenager, and you're that confused about everything and you have no idea and you're upset for many other reasons, the idea that they put it, let me just finish.
I'm not saying it.
I know. I can see you are ready. I can see you pulling back the bow. And the fact that they put this in their head too much, that's my thing. Should you tell a kid, look, there's a default setting for humans, male and female, but there are variations. That's absolutely true. Some people are attracted to people of their own sex, and some people are actually in the quote-unquote wrong body, and that does happen. But the amount that they emphasize this, I compared it once on my show to entrapment.
So
see, there you go.
I disagree. I'm sorry. Is that not the end? Is it? No, I thought entrapment had a period at the end.
Could I explain it?
Yes,
though?
Explain. I think we all get it, but yeah, explain it. Entrapment.
I don't think everybody does get it.
Okay, explain it.
Okay. Well, what is entrapment? Entrapment is when you suggest something to people that they weren't ordinarily going to do. I used the example of after 9/11. The FBI got caught basically entrapping some people, which is what they went to people who were, excuse me, I'm not done.
All right, I'm sorry. You're right. Honestly, that was rude. That was rude. That was rude. Bill, finish. You're explaining how being trans is like being recruited into Al-Qaeda.
Well, that's glib and
absolutely 100% glib. Stupid and glib.
It is.
Yes.
Because it's not true.
Right.
And you didn't even let me get through the
You're
thing.
right.
And now I got to go.
You're just going to leave? We're in the middle of a debate.
Yeah. No. Okay. I'll finish this. Entrapment. Like, okay, so they go to somebody.
The worst. The worst. This is the problem why you can't talk to liberals. This guy is so ideologically captured that he can't even have a conversation about the thing.
Did this in a group of poor black guys in Miami, and were unhappy with America, and hey, wouldn't it be great if we blew up the Sears Tower in Chicago? And these guys didn't even have a gun. And it's like, yeah, I hate America, or I got problems with America. That does sound kind of cool. And hey, well, we can get you the explosives. That's entrapment. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
You put an idea in people's heads that wouldn't have been there otherwise. Do I think in most of America they did that in schools? I don't. But I think in enough of them, in enough far left places, they did constantly have this idea in the minds of children that maybe you're not in the right body. I mean, the New England Journal of Medicine advocated for taking sex off of a birth certificate, I believe. It was like you're assigned sex at
Assigned
birth.
sex at birth.
Assigned.
Yeah.
You're assigned.
I think that's right.
I was assigned it by my dick, okay, when I was born. Yes, and again, to tell kids it doesn't always have to be and isn't always the default setting, but that's a different mentality than they put in the minds of kids. And that's why this debate goes on. And the fact that you think, or a lot of people on the left think that even if you just have this debate, it makes you a bigot, you just have to roll over. You asked about the Biden administration. That was their position. If you even question this, you're some sort of a bigot. And this is new science, and it has to do with children, and it's not going to look good in the future, that position.
Can I just respond to something?
Now you can.
Now I can respond? All right. Can you just All right. Let's just do. There's a lot. You definitely said your piece.
Just say your bullshit while I'm in the bathroom.
Just stay for 1 second.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Unbelievable.
I'm kidding.
All right, no, I know. Okay, a lot of things there. First of all, this is going to sound confrontational. For a long time, people said, older gay people are recruiting kids to be gay. And they wouldn't really be gay. It was they were being recruited, they were being groomed, that they were being drawn. That was the conservative position. The Christian right position for a long time was the reason you didn't want to have gay teachers is they're going to recruit. That the gay lifestyle is going to look so enticing and so exciting that it's going to bring these poor defenseless boys, they mostly boys, into the gay lifestyle and destroy their lives. But of course that wasn't true. Really, all gay teachers were an example.
Right. Yeah.
Look, there are a few examples of people getting older and realizing that they shouldn't have transitioned. That happens. It's real. That's real.
Yeah, more than a few.
But there are also really important surgeries that people get for their heart, and they go wrong, and somebody dies. And nobody says we must stop the cardiologists. No one says we must stop the surgeons.
Come
we say,
on now,
let's.
That's your analogy?
Well, my analogy is only that. Wait, let me finish.
This guy just compared having heart surgery to having trans elective surgeries. Do you understand how crazy you have to be to make that comparison? Like, seriously, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you are on politically. You have to really not be in touch with reality to even use that analogy. If you have a problem with your heart and you go to the doctor and they tell you we have to operate because there's something wrong, objectively wrong with your heart, that's a procedure you have to get done to save your life and to live a longer life. Saying that because someone thinks something in their mind means that now we have to have a surgery which now cuts off or alters a completely healthy, objectively healthy body part so that it can line up with what is in a person's mind is nowhere near the same thing. Like, not even close. This shows you that liberals are on a path to not only destruction, they're on a path to constantly losing elections.
I'm just
Can I finish?
Yes.
Is it my turn to talk?
No, you're right.
And what you say is, let's make sure that this version of it is being practiced well. We don't get rid of the specific surgery. We don't throw out a whole field of medicine. We say, let's make sure we're doing it in a way that's healthy. The science, the research,
it's not a field of medicine. It is malpractice. It should be considered malpractice, I should say, to anyone who does it.
Clear that yes, there are exceptions. Yes, there are people practicing it in ways that maybe go too far. But for the most part, study after study shows that gender-affirming care saves. I'm talking. It's my turn. I was so quiet for so long after I interrupted a few times.
But okay.
But once I stopped talking, boy, I was good at it. and that gender affirming care saves a lot of lives. And the truth is, we talk about these edge cases, talk about athletes, talk about locker rooms, but for the most part, what we're talking about is a very small group of people that just want the opportunity to live and express themselves. And there is a war on that group of people from the right to make salient extreme cases, edge cases, not for the purposes of stopping those, but for doing what the Trump administration is doing entirely, which is stopping all gender affirming care altogether and making trans people fucking nervous when they have to pee at the airport.
They're taking fringe cases and edge cases of trans people to pass law or to take away things. Genius. You do realize you're talking about a very fringe topic altogether. He's acting like, he's talking like, oh, they're taking fringe cases. You mean fringe cases of the fringe issue you're already trying to champion? You make no sense.
End result of all of this.
And of course, that's awful, and I agree with all that, except the part about the studies. There was a very big story this year. It was in the front page of the New York Times. Mm-hmm. A woman, I forget her name, and she had done, like, it was a 10-year study, did not release it on purpose because she said it would weaponize the argument from the other side. So in other words, it came out not the way you wanted the study to come out.
Yeah.
Not what you said, that it's, all the studies show that. No, it is a mixed bag. That's true.
Okay.
Some people, yes, it's the right thing. But to take that risk at that age before you know shit about anything, yes, sometimes it's pretty obvious that this should, it's a very hard call to make. And again, this was a very long study, very thorough, and they wouldn't release it because it came out with the wrong conclusion.
But the reason because it is a hard question, because
Right.
it is a serious question.
Right.
It is a personal question. I don't want Donald Trump deciding. I want parents and doctors.
Well, you just said parents can get shut out.
Well, I don't think parents should get shut out. There are rare exceptions to that. Look, we all believe that parents should have the decisions over their children, but we also recognize that some parents do such a bad fucking job that the kids are in danger. That happens outside of trans issues. That happens all the time. It's terrible. Some parents are fucking terrible. Somehow the fact that there are terrible parents in the world gets erased on these questions. Do I think that schools should, as a baseline, be keeping a secret from parents? Of fucking course not. No one thinks that.
Well,
no one thinks
apparently
that.
That's not true. That literally was a law that got passed in California. What? You're just lying at this point. You're not even willing to deal in reality even 1%. Just like that woman who did the study, I know the study Bill's talking about, by the way. She didn't release the study. Why? Because she wasn't ready to deal in reality even at a 1% level, right? So he's just flat out lying. He lives in a state, I'm assuming they're in California, based on what Bill said earlier. He lives in a state that literally passed a law to help teachers and children hide this whole thing from parents. But he's saying that he doesn't believe parents should be cut out the loop. It don't make sense.
Not true. People do think that. And there is no perfect answer to this. It's as many naughty questions, the least bad answer.
And the least bad answer is to not have the government decide from above. It's just to leave it up to people and parents and the kids and the doctors. Right? You want the government to ban gender affirming care for kids?
You want to lose every election? Just keep coming down on the side of parents coming in second in a who gets to decide what goes on with my kid contest.
First of all, I'm not talking about winning or losing election. I agree with all that, but I'm just talking about the issue itself. What did that card say?
Can I take this one home as a
sure,
as a souvenir? I'm going to put it in my scrapbook.
Let me see if I hit all my.
It should be up to parents and doctors to decide. No, it shouldn't. Your doctor should not even have a say in this. I don't go to the doctor for him to tell me what to do. He can give feedback. He can give his professional opinion. He can give me the results of a test that they ran, but he or she does not get to decide what the result is either for me or my kid. I'm not even on board with saying we should let the parents and doctors decide. The doctors don't decide nothing. The doctors wait and for me to tell them what's going to happen or not going to happen. Let's be clear about that. Wow. I'm still tripping over the whole heart surgery analogy he tried to use back there. I don't think I ever get over that, to be honest with you. But you guys, let me know what you think. Do you think this issue will continually be the chink in the armor for Democrats on elections? Do you think that people will eventually, come around to accepting the trans stuff, or do you think it'll still keep knocking them down? But let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And until next time, thank you for watching, and God bless. Peace.